A very warm welcome back to the channel. Today we thought we'd do something a little bit different and take you on a bit of a ride around Pattaya. Starting off on Pratumnak Soi 6. It's kind of between Pattaya and Jomtien Beach, so it's quite an interesting ride today. We're going to go up and across to the dark side and show you some stuff there. So we'll try and talk you through as we go, so do stay with us and hopefully we'll show you a little bit about what's around. Coming up on the left now, you'll see a bit of a homage to anyone who's watched Breaking Bad will understand that Los Palos, Hermanos, which is from Breaking Bad, the series. It's brilliant, actually. There's a lot of innovation in Thailand, a lot of very smart people, and yeah, that made me laugh. Gave me a bit of a chuckle. This area of Pratumnak is definitely more residential, so it's not really the party side of it. It's where I guess you'd say normal people sort of live. They're not living above bars and so forth. It's fairly normal. Coming up the top here, we're going to go right and then down onto Pattaya Road, which you'll see shortly. In this particular video, you'll see an awful lot of traffic. This is in fact recorded on a Buddha holiday, so there's an awful lot of people that come in from Bangkok and other places to spend the weekend in Pattaya. So I want to give you an idea of what it feels like to ride a bike, certainly in Pattaya. It's not necessarily for the faint-hearted, but not super difficult either. So this is effectively the main road between Pattaya Centre and Jomtien. It's called Pattaya Road, but as you go through the lights, sort of two sets of lights down, which you can't see right now, it then becomes Jomtien Second Road. But we're not going that route at the moment. We're going to turn left into another main artery road called Theprasit Road. This can generally be quite a nightmare for traffic, but as you'll see in a second, we were very lucky. The traffic was going against us, so perfect. One thing I will say about riding a bike in Thailand in general, you need to have eyes in the back of your head as well. Always keep your eyes open, look both left and right, because many people don't. And some of the worst perpetrators of this are in fact foreigners who should know better. But there seems to be a tendency when they come to Thailand, they decide that they're going to drive like they have no rules in their own land, which is rather frustrating. So just be very careful, especially with foreigners. And also these guys with no helmets is unbelievable. They take that kind of risk. So this is the main arterial road between Pattaya Road, which we've just turned off, and at the end of this road, which you'll see, we're going to come to a major road as well called Sukhumvit Road. And that road will lead you off to Bangkok in the one direction and down to Trat in the other. So it's, again, another major road coming up. As you can see, we're extremely lucky at this part of the journey with the road being so clear for us. The other side is all the people coming in from Bangkok because they come through the Sukhumvit Road and then down to Theprasit. So this time of day, we've been extremely lucky. But that will not last long, I assure you. If you like a bit of go-karting, coming up on the left now, there's a go-kart track. That's fairly new. Certainly since the last time I was here, that wasn't there. So a bit of fun for the family. So you might see the central reservation here on the road. That's been put in the last couple of years, and it used to be a real free-for-all like the Wild West. So that's kind of tamed the traffic a bit, but you still have a lot of motorcycle riders using the pedestrian crossing as a U-turn point, which, yeah, it's Thailand. I wouldn't expect anything else. There's another go-kart track there, as you've just seen. So 2 down Theprasit Road, and there is another in Pattaya Main as well. don't think I've ever seen these lights working. They're always flashing orange, so just approach with caution, as you can see, but you've got to kind of push your way through or you will be stuck there forever. As we were going on a bit of a trek, we thought we'd stop in and put some air in the tyres, which proved to be a bit of a challenge, as you might see in just a moment. It was a little bit laughable. The poor lady who came up behind me must have been thinking I'm completely mental. So anyway, have a look. This is fun. So the main issue here is I hadn't lined up the tyres correctly to be able to put in the air, especially on the back tyre, so I was sort of all over the place. It was, I don't know if it's a bit like Benny Hill, but it's a bit of a story anyway. So after that comedy of errors, we are back on the road again, and hopefully I won't repeat that, but it turns out I probably will. So there are a brand of service stations. This is called the PTT. Generally speaking, they're okay. That particular one, not very good. The service is pretty awful. So I tend to go to the Shell because the service is a lot better. But generally speaking, PTTs are pretty okay, other than that particular one. Just an opinion. So on the right, coming up, this is the location of the Theprasit night market, and that comes at about 5:30 in the evening, and they have food stalls, they have clothing, they have all sorts going on there. It's quite an experience to go down there and have a look around. There's some great food. You can get pretty much everything, including pets. Yeah, down the bottom end they have pets. As you do, you pop out to the market to get yourself a dog. Pretty normal, I thought. Okay, so now we're going to do a left and right, and the minute we go around the next traffic lights, which I'll tell you in a moment, we are then heading towards what is known as the dark side. Now the dark side is known as the dark side because when it was established a few years back, they didn't have any lights that side of the city, if you like. So it's all been in the dark side. Despite the fact everything's normal and they have lights now, it's still known as the dark side. So generally at traffic lights, it's a question of one-upmanship. Who can get round who first and who can get to the intersection before the other. It kind of is that a free-for-all. Okay, from this point on, you're going to see the traffic increase a little bit, which is fairly normal traffic from now on. That was exceptional down Theprasit Road. It's never normally like that. I noticed this chap behind us there is quite intrigued by the 360 camera that we're using, which is quite funny. Okay, so now the fun begins as we try and make our way across the railway tracks, which is coming up in a few minutes. Once we cross those railway tracks, we're officially on the dark side. But getting there is this little road here, That's a lot of fun, as you can see. Bit of interaction with the tree there. It's quite amazing if you look at this whole process, how it really does work. I know there's a lot of pushing and shoving and so forth, but generally speaking, nobody gets angry, everyone sort of gets by, and everyone sort of looks out for everyone else, generally speaking. Okay, this part tends to be a bit of a challenge because you've got two roads separated by a railway track in the middle. That railway track incidentally runs from Pattaya to Bangkok, so you can get a train from Pattaya to Bangkok. This is the railway in question, and they are planning in the future to do a higher speeds rail express service from Bangkok to Pattaya. I've never used the rail service here yet. So as you see here, everyone's got to get by as best we can. It would appear a complete gridlock, but actually you'll see things do move. You've just got to be a little bit cheeky sometimes, I think. And that goes for everybody. The cars and the bikes all seem to do it, as you can see now. Well, just look for yourself. And I don't know if you notice, another very good thing is you don't hear loads of people hooting and tooting, making it. Sometimes when you want to let someone know you're nearby, you give them a little small toot just so they see you. But generally speaking, I'm really pleased that in Thailand, unlike other countries, it's a fairly quiet experience. Okay, so now we're officially on the dark side, and we're on our way now to see an expat store where you can get a lot of items from the UK and other places. So it's kind of a place you go to get the odd few things that you can't generally buy in the local supermarkets. I think this truck coming up is really cool. Generally speaking, people come and live here, certainly foreigners come and live on the dark side, because it is a lot more like just normal life. It's not a party part of Pattaya, and people enjoy the quietness of it, although it doesn't seem quiet. If you go to the residential areas, you can see it is much quieter than Pattaya specifically. Quieter than Jomtien, but I personally prefer Jomtien. But you can see some people like the quieter life, so they come over this side of town. There's still everything you need. There's bars, there's supermarkets, there's all the requirements, and you're not really tied up in all that traffic all the time. So I kind of see the appeal, but it's all personal choice. Also, which we're not showing you on this video, there's an amazing Irish pub called Murphy's where you get the most fantastic Sunday roast. And we might review that one day actually, because it's worth it. So we'll be coming up to the end of this particular ride. We've got another one lined up behind this, which is a bit longer. It shows you a different side completely of Pattaya. We take a different route, and then we'll whiz you around Jomtien a bit more and explain a bit more that goes on there. So I'm going to stop talking for now, but I would like to thank all the subscribers we do have, and thanks so much for liking our videos and sharing. And if you could continue to do so, we would really, really appreciate that. Right, so here, ladies and gentlemen, is our local Siamsbury's, which is a beautiful take of a well-known brand. It's great. So this is where you would come for more of your Western food. We're just coming here to get cheese, actually, because the cheese prices in Thailand are pretty high. Not too bad here, though.